So hello guys and welcome back, and we are now moving on over to the EU region. Hopefully you don't have any internet issues. I'm just gonna pray. This is the first time I've ever done this, and we're just gonna be going into EU and see how this one is gonna work. So it's gonna be a TVP between Kelazhur as well as Krystianer, and this is gonna be very interesting because we got Brazil facing off against Poland, and it's gonna be really interesting how this lobby is gonna be unfolding. But first things first, our first map for this best of three is Zen LE. So it really might be a little bit of a different flavor here, especially with the Terran and the Protoss. Will Krystianer actually go for a wall on in, especially against, those range units on the Marines? It feels like he's gonna be letting them funnel, and it might just be exposing where the Protoss can take advantage. In the meantime, for Krystianer, he can go for a little bit of the aggression with the drops with the Warp Prism. Kelazhur can do the same, and I feel like that is just gonna be the tempo of this upcoming game. Now, if my memory does serve me right, we can actually talk about strats into the future. But in this Terran versus Protoss, in terms of their rankings in terms of the OSC leaderboards, well, I'm just looking at it real quick, trying to find it, and there you go. So the thing to note about them is... okay. Where is it? Where are we at? Where are we at? Oh. Okay, so there we go. We found it. Krystianer is all the way in 6th place, and Kelazhur is 2nd, so he's tied up with Bly all the way at the top of the standings, so that's pretty impressive. But it seems like it is time to get into the action. We can talk about a little more about our players in game, as we are going to be seeing a TVP come our way. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Semi-final number 2 coming your way, all the way in EU. Gonna be very interesting to see how this one's gonna unfold, as introducing first on the top right, we got our pink Protoss, Krystianer. And his opponents, on the bottom left instead, it's our blue Terran, Kelazhur. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, here we are one more time. Now, something to note about Kelazhur. If I remember correctly, he is the #1 player in Brazil. He's 43rd in the world, as Ligalek has said, within that top 50. Very impressive in that regard. And for Kelazhur, Archangel Gaming being represented there, same team as Chance from the previous series, and he has been all around the world and back. This guy is had a number of Copa Americas tournaments under his belt, basically getting 2nd place and 1st place consistently in many regards, facing off against many players, including Special, and you got Cham, and you got Cham, you got Special, you got Major, those guys. Just so impressive. A really good resume here for Kelazhur. He has had a history with Get Over It Gaming, all the way from Hearts of the Swarm, Core Gaming, Microgames, Try Again, Root Gaming, Panda Global, and now with Archangel Gaming in the EU spots. So a really strong Terran player in his regard, and I was able to watch a VOD of him recently where he does have a really strong bio focus, and we'll see if he's going to be bringing in that flavor into this table. But on the other side, here on the top right, it's going to be Krystianer instead. He does play for Team Blazer right now, and he has been around the EU region and back, that's for sure. He's within the top 10 in his country, around in the top 100 in the world, and he does compete in such a high level, honestly. Really finding places to be at. It's recently winning out something like the Beast Esports RTG Edition Cup number 2, the CDR Open, all the way back 2 years ago. And if I remember correctly, he does compete pretty well in many of these OSC tournaments, including the SCV Rush Weekly Open Cup, which he won recently, all the way back in May 5. So pretty strong matchup here and now, but I have to give a little bit the edge here to our Terran player, I believe, in terms of that history. But the thing to note is, well, for Kelazhur, he is going to be looking to really just dominate the action here and now. It's a little different, actually, in terms of the bracket. So, looking at the seeding, this is basically the 1st seed versus the 4th seed in our top 4. it's the second seed and the sixth seed overall, but we did have already qualifiers that were won by our other two seeds, so so it is gonna be Krystianer bumped up to try and make it work and really bring his cards to the mid-season playoffs. But anyway, by the meantime, we are gonna get Krystianer to set things up with a Phoenix. So this might be the Phoenix Adept gameplay again that we saw a little bit earlier on with our previous Bros player. And he's gonna be looking to get around the map. So it's a Phoenix and the Oracle first and foremost. It's very interesting to see a Phoenix, especially against a Terran, because sure you can use this against mechanical units and go for a little bit of the anti-air, but at the same time, if you're playing against Bio, it's just not gonna work. And here comes the cycle now, probably getting a lock on Viking giving chase, and boom goes the dynamite. Goodbye to that poor Phoenix. The Oracle timing though might still make it out, and does Kelazhur decide to go for missile turrets? Not gonna be even the case. He is gonna be trying to whip things out though with the 3 racks. Recently I've seen the strategies really evolve around racks being better and better, bigger and bigger, and more and more. 6 racks, 8 racks, not really uncommon as per se. Entering Bay though, coming online here for Kelazhur. And where are those Marines? He doesn't have any. He only has a Cyclone for the defense as well as the Viking. But they are not in position as of yet on the left-hand side, though the lock-on comes. But there is the Oracle getting out of range. Will the speed matter? It's away just in time. So yeah, as we said, not too many Marines on the defense, but Kelazhur doesn't really care. If you do defend an Oracle against Marines, you're going to be there for a bad time. So I do like how he used the factory. He went for the tech lab, he built a Cyclone just to make sure he can get rid of any kind of Sky Toss. And he has a Viking as well from the naked starports. And now reactors are being built. Double pumping out Medivacs is the name of the game with the Marines. And it's double pumping out those upgrades along the way. So yeah, I was happy. I got to check out Kelazhur's playstyle, because just seeing him on this bio is a work of art. Krystianer, in the meantime, while he has had a few series here and there, especially in the EU scene of WCS, Stasis Trap though, will get triggered by that lone Marine. He's just like, I'm gonna take a break, guys. This is my break time. This is me on vacation. I'm good to go. I'm ready, I'm set, I'm happy with what I'm doing. And by this point in time, it is gonna be the 1-1 timing here from Kelazhur. He wants to get the push, especially as soon as he gets this +1 upgrade. He's not going to be going for the double pump though, so it's going to be a little dangerous in a splash damage regard, because immediately we have Krystianer going for the Colossus as well as the extended thermal lance. Putting the Colossus out of range is such a safe way to go about things. Scan going to be there as well. Kelazhur right now looking to make things happen. Brother though, going to be in position, combat shield going online here and now. Essentially a drop with a few siege tanks to boots. So it is going to be Kelazhur right now having the army that he needs. Oracle and Phoenix flying on around as well. And in the meantime, Sentry going to be online. Here comes the Colossus coming on forward. Krystianer looking to reinforce, looking to defend onto this third base. Well, reinforcing the lines. He needs to protect this Colossus with his life. Here comes trouble, here comes the attack. Revelation is onto the front line, but basically Krystianer has to back or not. Kelazhur with an imposing force to really push the lines. The Viking gonna be in the front line, but the Phoenix is gonna try to get the hits. Beautiful hit though from the Widowmine. Gonna get the slam onto the high ground, onto the sky. And in the meantime, it really is a push-pull scenario, but Kelazhur is just saying, hey, I'm gonna stay on this side, and you stay on yours. I'm gonna break your nexus, and I'm gonna have a great time along the way. Overall, Kelazhur really shut things down in this bush. Both names start with the K and to the R. It's a little confusing, honestly, but one's on Protoss and one's on Terran. And well, this is just Kelazhur shutting down any kind of expansion dreams that Krystianer has. Seems like, though, our Protoss player wants to go for the expand yet again. He doesn't have the army, though. 72 army right now and 30 compared to 39. Kelazhur taking the advantage to go for a third base. 2 Colossus, though, might not be enough, because that's a beautiful push on in. They take care of one. 2 is down, and GG is called. Kelazhur with a timing attack to really win things out. What a push there to take that victory. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Our first game for the second semifinal done and dusted. And well played there to our Terran. Really winning things out. So another game though will be going down there. We'll see what is going to be up for our next bouts. But GG indeed on Zen LE. Impressive stuff overall between our two players, but the thing to note really was just how our Terran was able to systematically and automatically pick apart his opponent. He went for the attack at the proper time. He had his +1. He had the timing, especially against the Colossus, and well, he had the siege tanks, he had the Widow Mines, a lot of pressure to apply, a lot of ways to really force the Colossus back. He even had the Viking just for good measure. And just all the tools in trade allowing the push to happen from the Marines, from the Marauders, from the siege tanks, and sheer numbers in favor of our Terran player. But hey, it is what it is, and Kelazhur as well as Krystianer are now going to be going over to game number 2. It's Nightshade next on the list apparently, and that's going to be a pretty interesting map because they'll have a lot of aggressive outlooks coming into this second bout. But hey, you know, Nightshade LA, we have seen a lot of aggression. There can be some proxy play as well from our Protoss as well as our Terran, honestly. So we'll see how that's going to unfold as we'll get confirmation of our second map. And there you go, Nightshade LE next on the list, and it's gonna be a pretty interesting time, that's for sure. We'll see how this one is gonna unfold though, and then we'll get into our second game already. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and here we go again. Semifinals number 2, 1-0 advantage right now for our Terran, but we'll see if our Protoss can bring things back. Introducing first on the southeast side of Nightshade LE, it's our pink Protoss, Krystianer. And his opponents, on the top left instead, it's our blue Terran, Kelazhur. So what do you guys think? What is basically your... What do you say? What is the parts of the calls? Like, in StarCraft 1, in Brood War, I realized that people use the clock system to really call locations, but here instead, in StarCraft 2, it really is just about, hey, northwest, southeast, that kind of thing, directions, diagonals, and what do you guys think? What do you prefer? I really got used to calling directions, but I recently casted a Brood War tournament, and well, it was a little bit different, that's for sure, just calling them in those locations, and now thinking about it, it's like, hey, it makes a lot of sense. You got your, this is like a 4 or 5 o'clock, this is like a 4:30-ish, and then you got your 10:30-ish. That's the thing, you can't really tell what time it is exactly, but hey, it is what it is. Orbital Command right now coming online here for Kelazhur. He does have his racks, pretty standard stuff right now, and he will use an add-on to bring things up in terms of his wall. So for Kelazhur, he wants to set up with a supply depot along the way. Krystianer in the meantime with Nexus Point, gonna be up expanding for his second. And in this TVP, no early aggression from either side means they can play the macro game as quick as can be. And well, this is your Masters Cup qualifiers for the mid-season playoffs in the OSC Elite 2020 program. And big shout out to OSC for really setting up a huge number of tournaments. You check them out at their websites, at their channel, and just big kudos to them, not only for StarCraft 2 but also for Hearthstone as well as poker. Really goes to show a big company like that can go a long way and make such a big splash in the StarCraft scene. But anyway, Robo Facility right now, here from Krystianer. He's gonna go for the 1 gate into 1 Robo, 1 gate, 1 core, and really just all about tech here and now. He's not going all greedy, not gonna go for the Twilight Council whatsoever. So Kelazhur gonna be expecting a few Immortals in his doorstep very, very soon. For Kelazhur, since he's trying to play a little bit of that macro game, he sets up the bunker just in case it needs a little bit of that defense. But seeing his opponent having more and more of the economy and having more and more of the fact that he is just going to be looking to play into later game should allow our Terran to just build as much as he wants. Now usually, of course, the Protoss can have a little bit of the advantage in the economy because the probes, they just build a building and they can go back to work. The SCV has to stay there, build everything, and make sure that everything is fine and dandy up to code because health inspectors are a big bane to the Terran race. But beyond that, there is one way to mitigate that advantage that the Protoss can get. It's the mules. These mules are ridiculous at getting minerals, and you can see Kelazhur a little bit of ahead, even though he has less of those workers. In the meantime though, Robo Bait right now, and Krystianer knows his opponent pretty well. He's just like, Kelazhur is one of those players who are really good at bio, so he's probably going bio. For me, I'm really confused sometimes on what the push-pull of bio and mech is. It's like, recently, you know, on the patch, mech is like so much better, but then here on, I've seen that bio is coming back, and it really is just, it's just a matter of preference. I feel like if you're a bio player, then play bio. If you're a mech player, then play mech. It has tools of the trade. It has so many tools that can fill up the holes in terms of your weaknesses in the composition. For Bio, you have Marines, you have Marauders, you have Ghosts, you have Medivacs, who usually add up Siege Tanks as well as Widow Mines. And on Mech, you got, of course, Siege Tanks, you got Cyclones, you got Hellions, you got your Thors, and then you can go for Starport stuff like the Liberators for either side. You can go for Banshees for harassment. You can go Battle Cruiser, because why not go Battle Cruiser? As Krystianer immediately spots out this Medivac, no drop play whatsoever here from Kelazhur, unless he gets a speed boost on, and here comes trouble. Now, Kelazhur doesn't want to drop these with the mines in front of the Immortal, that's for sure. It can tank up the shot, and it can also just blow them up with those Disruptors. So instead, he's going to be chilling here on the east side, trying to stay away from the Stalker composition that Krystianer has. So it seems like it is going to be more of the armored approach here from Krystianer, Stalkers, Immortals, as well as a Colossus to boot, having a pretty tanky front line to try and face off. But against all of this Bio, he might need to have a little more edge in terms of that AoE. Now, it's a pretty interesting dynamic when you get that Robo Bay. It feels like you do want to swap things out bit by bit, and you know, having a little bit of the Disruptor can be a good tool as well, but it's a big boom compared to the sustained damage of the Colossus, and for me, it is a lot safer to go on to Colossus instead at the very start. But speaking of the start, it's the start of another engagement perhaps, because here comes trouble, and here comes our Terran player going on the offset yet again. So on the timer real quick, so we do get the match arena showing up from time to time, and hope you guys are enjoying the show so far, because we are going to have a little bit of a global scene right now over the Locust Sea that we worked on earlier on in the afternoon. But now, it is Krystianer forced to get the cancel every single time our Protoss player wants to secure this third base. It's just like Kelazhur saying, "No sir, you're not going here, sir. There is nothing happening here, sir. It is not going to happen there." And yeah, Kelazhur shutting down that third base. Krystianer decided to relocate on the other side of the map instead, and he should be happy and safe there with his units in position. In terms of army though, Kelazhur having more and little bits with the Marines. And this little Marines trying to take care of the pylon, but the Colossus says, "Hello, what are you doing here? I'm going to cook you now." That's a pretty easy flambe, Marine souffle for the Protoss to enjoy. Anyway though, Combat Shield now gonna be going online very soon. And in the meantime, Terran looking to build things up on the worker count. He's fully saturating these two bases, looking to even get a third with the amount of SCVs he has over the limits. In the meantime though, Charge Lot, a really good component. I like the from Krystianer, even though the Marauders are gonna get that concussive shots, the speed boost from the charge is absolutely essential to allow those Zealots to make it through to the other side. Now, of course, for every Marine-based composition, if you're amazing at the start step, you're going to be able to run on away eventually. But that big burst from the Zealots is going to be enough to cleave up a few units here and there. A very interesting dynamic, really the Warriors of the Kala looking to get things done as Kelazhur blows up that probe and immediately gets traded by the army. +1 though going online, and here comes a little bit of a strike force. Not gonna be a drop whatsoever, it's just gonna be step back on in and look to mop things over. The Stalkers dragging on along will get taken down, and it's a rescue mission actually, because the Medivacs now can get away. Here comes Kelazhur, reinforcing the lines. In the meantime, Krystianer does not want to let up on that Medivac all the way on the east side. You know what this Medivac feels like? It's a Chekhov's gun. It is waiting to blow up, it is waiting to burst, it is waiting to fire on Krystianer. It's only a matter of time and something big explodes along the way. But in terms of our tech, we are going to get extended thermal ads. It's a little later than the previous matchup. Krystianer went for the Colossi first, and I like that he does have the numbers right now to just basically say to Kelazhur, "No, you're not going in here. I have a watchful eye, and this is the Eye of Sauron in threefold for our Protoss player." But hey, right here, right now, if Kelazhur is able to get the outnumber in the army, he might be able to get the catch onto that Colossus. A small timing window right now before the extended thermal lance is actually built up. But with the +1 coming online, gonna be a good way to really lower that damage as well from the Colossus itself. But you know, it's still a very strong ability to have that splash damage, to just have the line being drawn in the sand. And here comes the Zealots as well as the High Temp. Seems like it's a Charge Lot Archon composition now coming our way. Disruptor even into the field. And this is going to be looking really interesting. Now, of course, you have to be very careful with using the Nova to make sure you're not going to be hurting anything on your side. Scando comes online, and well, for Kelazhur looking around, trying to make sure everything is fine and dandy. But yeah, it has happened. It has happened. Immediately we saw the scan, and I think that was a little bit of a mistake there. I'm not sure what Kelazhur was scanning on, but it did distract me enough to not see the Widowmine get the kills onto the probe line in the main base. So yeah, I knew it was gonna happen. The medevac is gone, and there you go, big boom. 14 probes did go down. Damn. Distracting. Why gotta do it like this, Kelazhur? Even I get distracted. Is that how it was? He went for a scan, be like, hey, my opponent, check this out, Mr. Protoss. I'm doing something else, and there you go. The Widowmine gets the drop, and that is just gonna be some really good value there. Now, Kelazhur has been basically in the lead in terms of the economy, 3 base versus 3 base, the Terran having the advantage with the mules. And with that, he's been building up an army, but Krystianer is looking to slowly but surely edge the gap. Disrupted right now with a Purification Nova. And we see a few corpses bouncing around, but not the biggest hit there. Here comes trouble though. The Zealot's going to go for the push. Arca's going to be into the front line. Good starter step courtesy of Kelazhur to get on away. And again, it's really just a tug of war between our two players. Overall though, this is looking really potent right now as Kelazhur is going to be keeping things up with his comp. Now, I love the addition here from our Terran player. He has gone into the Ghost Academy, and he will get some ghosts along the way. He doesn't have the EMP upgrade, but at the same time, just one big hit can shut down a lot of shields on the other side. So, Storm and Nova is going to be the same case here for Krystianer. But he needs a few more pylons along the way. Here comes the Widowmine right now, set on up, and that is going to be a potential boom onto those Zealots. But anyway, EMP upgrade now, looking to go online here for Kelazhur, just gonna be increasing it basically its potency with its range, with its AoE honestly. But beyond all that, speaking of AoE, Storm and Purification Nova, those are big abilities. Those are big abilities to really get a bulk of the army. So Kelazhur has to be completely on point with the Star Step, with his mobility, with the splits, and we'll see if he can keep things up. But overall, in his history, it is known that he has found his rhythm. He has found his stride with his bio composition. And I feel like if it's a player that can do it, it might be him. Vikings right now going to be in the front line. Storm will go online very, very soon. And honestly, it might really be a surprise. Nova right now will connect onto a small chunk there. But the High Templar are looking to float on in. EMPs right now going to get casted. Big Storm though, connecting into the middle. The medevac trying to get the heals on. Stimpack right now running out duration. It's the starter set to get on the way. The Nova giving chase. And both sides really edging things out, but Kelazhur are still ahead. The Vikings are going to be there. They are trying to get the Disruptor. But no sir, it's still not enough. What a difficult scenario here is for Krystianer. He has to get the big hits, and Kelazhur is just so on point with the micro to get on away. Now an Archon will pop, the Disruptor in the front line will fall as well. Storm right now trying to get the Vaporization on, trying to cook up these Marines, but it's just not going to happen. What a shot though from the Ghost, gets the EMP in behind. Here comes the Nova yet again, but this is perfect for the Terran because he has the advantage. He's going to go for the push, the Disruptor going to cut count. GG is called, and Kelazhur moves on to face off against B in our upper bracket finals. Kelazhur with the victory, by control, absolutely on point, and well played there to our Terran. Just what a show, that is how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. That is how you play the bio to a strong degree, and well played to our Brazilian representative, really going all the way. So we got a 2-0 for Kela, and just, in terms of the seeding, it was expected, but it was an impressive effort from Krystianer. He really tried to play the counter comp, the High Templar and Disruptor, big components of potentially trying to get that defense on, but just the control, the speed, the use of those Marines, those Marauders, those Medevacs, impressive stuff from our Terran player. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be our map score here for this best of 3. Kelazhur with a victory on to 2. Well played on both Zen and Nightshade, playing it the way he wants to, playing it the way he's comfortable. And that's just what you want to see in StarCraft, someone refining their game to the most impressive degree and absolute mastery on those Rax units. But hey, we'll be taking a little bit of a break. We're going to be setting things up for our next match. We'll be right back. I'll be plugging my socials as well. And this is your OSC Super Series 2020 Mid-Season Playoffs Masters Cup Qualifier. That's a long name. Let's just call it the Masters Cup Qualifier. And we will be back in just a bit.